Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. So SNK, well, all the way back in the Ken update, has made adjustments to the smart style to incorporate breaks and feints. And so one video I wanted to make since launch, but I keep forgetting to do so. But now the Ken patch gave me even more of a reason to make that video, is how good is smart style in general. I'll make an assessment before the patch and an assessment after the patch. So before the patch, it's awful. Smart style is basically Fatal Fury's version of modern controls. Your buttons are punch, and then you do forward and punch, forward and kick, crouch forward punch, crouch forward kick to get your heavies to your buttons. And then you have a special move button, a combo button. Combo plus kick is ref blow, punch plus kick is grab, punch plus special is EX, and special and combo is super. And then on your shoulder buttons, LB on throw, RB on rev, same as standard, LT on dodge attack, and then ref blow can also be performed with right trigger. But because some of these actions are available on the face buttons, if you feel comfortable doing them on the face buttons, like X circle or BNA on ref blow, you can swap out the right trigger macro for it and then make it a different action. But because throw is already X and A, aka punch kick, I've swapped out the throw macro to make it EX moves. And I'll explain that in a bit. To do EX moves, it's the very awkwardly mapped punch and special, which means it would be square triangle on PlayStation and X and Y on Xbox. Hence the macro, because it makes it so much easier. It makes it easier to use. However, this comes with a couple weaknesses. Weakness number one is you do not have proximity normals. If I'm far away, I get stand jab and stand heavy. But if I'm close to the opponent, I get proximity jab and proximity heavy. And proximity heavy allows for Terry's version of Ken's chin buster. This does not exist in Smart, so you always do stand jab no matter what, and you always do stand heavy no matter what, everywhere you go. This matters because some characters have proximity specific combos, one of which Rock, he has a link that's proximity light kick to crouch heavy punch, and it's one of the combo trials in the game, and you cannot do it on modern because it always results in this far light kick, which is like this low kick instead of the knee strike. Weakness number two, both of these are addressed in the Ken update. You could not feint and you cannot break. So if I do breaking specific moves to make them easier to combo into other moves, pre-patch you could not do it. As well as feint, the combo applications, the pressure applications, and the mind games of feint were completely missing from modern controls in the normal version. They put in feint here, so now you have like the neutral mind game of whether or not you're gonna throw a fireball. However, even then there are still limits, and we'll get there later. Number three, on Smart, you can just defend and you can guard cancel. However, to do anything that does not involve a rev blow, you would need to input the move manually. Your special actions don't work. So like rev blow works, right? Because rev blow is already like 2 buttons, there's no motion input version. But if you try to do super, nothing happens. So manually inputting burn knuckle got me the guard cancel burn knuckle on time. However, this did not happen when I did the special move button. So those who don't want to do special moves with the motions and strictly want to do them with the SP button, effectively the ability to guard cancel doesn't exist except for rev blow. You have to input your specials and you have to input your supers. So right there, I just performed a 0 frame super. Now if we try to do it you also cannot guard cancel 0 frame supers. To recap, guard cancels can only happen with motion inputs. You cannot 0 frame. And number 5, again, for people who don't want to do motion inputs, the super shortcut, which is SP plus combo, the version performed is entirely based on how much meter you have at the moment. So if you have 2 bars, your shortcut will force you to do the level 2 version. So if you have 2 bars, you are stuck with level 2 Buster Wolf, level 2 Power Geyser, or the Ref Super, which can be performed separately, but not using the super button. Instead, it's Rev and EX at the same time. And it has to be at the same time. It cannot be like you hold Rev to Ref block and then you do an EX move, because that happens. You have to press both at the same time. You're not entirely locked into a level 2 super, but again, some people pick smart to avoid motion inputs. And so, to do your level 1s, you have to do the motion and then press the button. You'll always do the 1 bar version that way, even if you have 2 bars. However, that's not why people play Modern. Now, initially, to make up for some of these nerfs, some characters are designed with these weaknesses in mind. For instance, characters that have an invincible reversal on the light version and then a combo version on the heavy version. Because you originally could not break on Modern or Smart, Power Dunk and every character's invincible moves is always the invincible version unless you EX, and never the break version. So for the SP, invincible Power Dunk, and then Z plus K, the invincible version also. This is very much a way for 2 people who don't play fighting games to just select a character and just walk up and do combos. You can easily do combos that takes characters out of starter SPG. This is intended to be like a playground for beginners, not so much a tool you could unironically use in tournaments like Street Fighter's Modern mode. Completely different way to design. Because if they intended people to use this thing in tournaments, they clearly failed, which is why I see it in a different light. That is pretty much how Smart was at launch. Now, for how good it is now, because now they've added the ability to feint and the ability to break. And the addition is cool, however, it very much clashes with the way characters are designed for the launch version of Smart. And so let's talk about it. Let's talk about feint. Feint had 3 purposes. Enhance block pressure, because the feint animation is shorter than the recovery of that attack. So you attack, feint, and then you can land another attack. This enhanced combos, and this enhanced block pressure. And the other one is like neutral mind games, where you're about to do the animation to throw a fireball, but you don't. Just to psych out the opponent, and then you can just like anti-air them like this. All 3 uses for feints are worse on Smart, unfortunately. So the neutral mind game is the one that's the least intact going from arcade to modern. The mind game of whether or not you're throwing a fireball is intact. However, on arcade, Terry has 3 different feint animations. Crack Shoot, Power Wave, and Burn Knuckle. And Burn Knuckle is a really good one because you can like YOLO Burn Knuckle from full screen, and then to make someone block, and then catch them by surprise. Same for Crack Shoot. Crack Shoot is safe on block, And so someone will expect the crack shoot. You do the feint animation, and then they're open to counterattack as a result. Not having access to all of these different feint options makes your neutral mind game a little bit worse. But neutral mind games is the least of your concerns, because there are two other ways to use feints, and it's block pressure and combos. Where the fuck is my feint? Optimal routes have you feinting after the use of certain moves. So for Terry, you do chin buster, feint, and then stand heavy punch. And it's specifically the power wave feint. However, if you were to try that in modern, so what happened is combo button is basically like a combo button. You mash the button to get combos. In order to deviate, you would have to do something that does not involve the combo button at all. Now, for some reason, while the super attack macro is able to just stop the combo completely, feint does not. So if you do SP combo, instead of doing EX burn, you do super. If you do ref combo, it does not deviate from EX burn. Another loss of damage there. One thing I forgot to mention about Modern, or Smart, is that unlike Street Fighter's Modern, there's no loss in damage from attacks. Like, Crouch Heavy Punch does 71 here, it's gonna do 71 on Arcade. The loss in damage comes from missing all of these critical mechanics, and even with the inclusion of these mechanics, the way the characters are designed makes them either difficult to use them at all, or use them optimally. Like I said, Terry only has one feint on Smart instead of 3 feints on Arcade. The two missing being Crack Shoot and Burn Knuckle. That's feints, but what about Break? You can break just fine. The break eligible moves work just fine. You just press the ref button at the right time, just like in Arcade. So instead of triple geyser, you get twin geyser here, and then you can follow up with Burn Knuckle like normal. So the issue isn't just the ability to break your moves, rather the ability to do moves you can break is the issue. Because SP Burn Knuckle is the light version, which cannot be braked. DP is the invincible version, and not the combo version. This means, in order to break your stuff, you would need to spend a bar. You would need to spend meter. So here's a sample combo. EX Burn, EX Crack Shoot, into Break DP, Light Burn Knuckle. The requirement to break means that you're spending more rev to do stuff. And that matters because for Terry's combo, you're not rev axling into EX Power Dunk, your EX DP. You are comboing it from a floor bounce. And the rule of thumb with rev meter consumption is that once you stop rev axling, the cost of EX moves reset. Like I said in another video, it's 25 for the first one, then 15, then 10. So for EX Burn, EX Crack Shoot, you spend 25 on the first one, 15 on the Crack Shoot, and then you DP break the meterless heavy version, which doesn't spend anything, and then you do Light Burn Knuckle afterwards. for the smart style player, the requirement to do the EX version combined with the way meter cost resets after crack shoots floor bounce means the smart style player is spending 65% rev to do this very basic combo. And that means you typically have a lot less rev to play around, especially when some of these characters have like crazy combos that they're doing on arcade, which spends a lot of meter. From 41 after the combo ends to 70. That is a significant difference. So that's it on this video for Smart Style before and after the patch. The introduction of Feint and Break significantly help this playstyle, but at the same time, there's still a large gap between the new Smart versus the arcade, and so there will be a lot more, if not, there will only be arcade style players for the time being, unless they do additional tweaks. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a nice day.